Have you ever done something and then only recognized in hindsight that whatever it is that you did was just completely stupid and could have very easily been avoided if you were just clear on the right decision to make? Like, this can apply in a lot of different situations, but the reason why I'm mentioning it here is because I'm a firm believer that life is extremely simple. We just make it very difficult for ourselves. And when we make it difficult, our ability to make a decision ends up like decreasing because we just find it harder. We get confused. We're like not able to see what the options are and what the right option is to take. And there's a multitude of ways that we make life difficult for ourselves, but I really want to go through 3 and just give you a few ideas on like how can we actually go about making life easier for ourselves. And the first thing that I want to mention is that we often say yes when more often than not we should say no. Like, for example, I get like many often I have friends that just want to catch up, and yes, I have friends, thank you very much, and they do want to hang out with me. Unlike you, I'm kidding. But like when someone asks me to catch up with them, like very often if I'm in a hectic study period, I have a lot of like things that I need to do, like a lot of study, a lot of assignments to do, and I find there's some part of myself that's like, yes, I really want to hang out with them. Like I really want to go and spend time with this person, maintain that connection. Maybe there's a fear inside me that like if I don't, then that relationship is going to fall apart, right? Then that specific friendship group, they're not going to want to hang out with me anymore. And the next gathering that they have, they're not going to invite me because I don't make it to this one. Now these are all like fears that kind of like cross through my mind. And I've noticed when I have said yes to those things, I end up going. But when I end up going, I'm thinking about all the work that I need to be doing later on right after. So I actually don't enjoy that situation. And so one way that I've been really battling this and really combating this is if it's not a hell yes, like if someone asks me to hang out with them, or they ask me to go out to dinner, or like they ask me to do this, like take up this responsibility, if it's not a hell yes, I'm in, then it's a no. Now, a second way that we make life difficult for ourselves is that we continuously choose short-term over long-term. A very simple example of this is that we choose to watch that Netflix TV show or anime over that assignment or that work that we need to do. Like we just, like it's almost like we all do it. I'm guilty of it, right? And like what happens there is that like that assignment, that work that we need to do gets left until last minute. We get stressed out, we get nervous, there might be anxiety around it. And like, that's all the consequences of our actions. That's the consequences of us choosing short-term over long-term. Easier said than done. And so my encouragement to you is just choose the long-term option, then indulge in a short-term one, like immediately after if you need to. I think what really is going on here is that we're just so used to choosing short-term over long-term. Like anything that we practice, we get extremely good at. And I think when we're so used to choosing the short-term over long-term situation, that's how we can very easily like navigate through life and leave things to last minute and so on and so forth, right? So if we try to flip that and start choosing long-term over short-term, it can make a massive difference. And obviously in the beginning, it's gonna be hard, right? But the more and more we do it, the more we're practicing it. And when we're practicing it, we can get better at it. And then it just becomes easier. It becomes like second nature. Now, this last thing that I want to share with you, this third way, I think for me can probably be one of the easiest changes to kind of make. Or really, it might be a hard kind of change to make, but it yields amazing results. And that is the idea of like who we surround ourselves with. And I want to make this very clear. The reason why I say it's like a really like impactful kind of change to make is because if we surround ourselves with people that are motivated, inspired, that are like-minded and are people that we also want to be like, it just means that we will subsequently fall into that category and try to do what they're doing and try to either match their status or try to supersede that. Now there's nothing wrong with that, like either way at all. And I think like for me, like the first thing that comes to mind is when I was in high school, we had a bunch of friends. Like there was about 16 of us that would like either hang out, or we just like hang out in pockets. We played down ball during recess and lunchtime, and I didn't go to a very high performing school, but what I did notice was that whenever we would hang out, we would always push each other competitively, whether it be in sport or whether it be in academics. Like we'd share our scores and we'd try to do better the next time. Now I didn't feel like I was very much of a, I didn't feel like I was a smart student. I felt like I did a lot of hard work and that's how I got the results that I did. But there was about, I think 15 or 16 of us that ended up getting like really good scores in school. And I think like that is a credit to like our effort, yes. But I think it's more so a credit to the group, because we were just surrounded by success, by hard work, by inspiration all the time. Because we were just surrounded by it all the time, we ended up like following that narrative in our own lives. It's just what happened. It might be a little bit difficult to kind of understand, but you can look at it like this. Like if you're trying to avoid like chocolate and lollies, it's easier to avoid it if it's not easily accessible. Like if you don't have chocolate and lollies and stuff at home, like the barrier to get that is high, because you have to either get into the car or walk to the shops and then go and get it, right? And like it's just too high. Like I think about that, I'm like, nah, can't be bothered. I have zero interest in doing that now. But if there's like a bowl of like chocolate or like M&Ms sitting in the middle of the dining room table, you can bet that I'm gonna reach for that because it's just too easy, right? So it's a little bit like that. The people that we surround ourselves with, if they're in our immediate circle, we get very easily influenced by it. We get very easily influenced by our environment. So surround yourself with people that will uplift you, that will force you to do better, that will like push you. And I'm not talking about in the toxic sense. Like comparison can be a really great thing. Like I know they say like, the only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. And I have said that before as well. And whilst I think that is true, I think it's also really good that if we do kind of like see where we stand in society, like where we stand in comparison with our friends. Like, are we moving forward in life, right? Are they moving forward in life, right? Do we need to move forward together? That's why me and Sunny did that half marathon, right? We felt like the physical aspect of our life wasn't like flourishing like the rest of our lives. And so we challenged each other like, hey man, let's go. Let's do this half marathon. And it wasn't like we had to hit a particular time or like who's doing it faster than the other person. It's just like, man, let's set ourselves a goal and get something done. Give that a go this week and so on and so forth and see how it impacts your life. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you like it and you subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video. Catch you later. Bye.